Denny Hamlin is 45 years old. He sits on top of the NASCAR Cup Series points standings, and he already has 4 trips to victory lane this season. Every logical signal in that garage says sign another deal. But Hamlin has already told Gibbs Racing that the contract he is driving right now is the last one he intends to sign. And when the checkered flag falls on the 2027 season, that number 11 Toyota belongs to somebody else. This is not a rumor somebody cooked up on a podcast during a rain delay at Talladega. Back in July of 2025, standing in the garage at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Hamlin put his name on a 2-year contract extension with Gibbs Racing that runs through the end of 2027. A reporter asked him point blank whether that would be the final deal of his driving career, and Hamlin answered with 2 words, most likely. At Darlington in March, he told reporters he had given Gibbs enough advance warning that the organization was already drawing up plans for life after him, and that as far as he assumed, the end of 2027 is it. So why in the world would a driver climb out of a race car that is still this fast? Hamlin gave the most honest answer of his entire career on the Prime Video post-race show at Michigan International Speedway, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. sitting right across from him pushing for a real response. Hamlin explained that 3 things break down on a race car driver as the seasons pile up. Your eyesight goes, your reaction time goes, and your body starts to hurt. Then he delivered the line that stopped the whole conversation cold. The body hurts are already here. He is not bouncing back between race weekends the way he used to, and while the vision and the reflexes are still razor sharp, the physical toll of strapping into a hot metal box for 4 hours every Sunday is stacking up in a way it simply never did when he was 30. And this is where the reasoning gets genuinely sharp, because Denny Hamlin has clearly studied how great NASCAR careers actually end. Jimmy Johnson, a 7-time Cup Series champion, went winless across his final 3 full-time seasons. Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. all closed out their last full-time campaigns without a single trip to victory lane. Hamlin has said out loud that his ego is paranoid about the downtrend, that the decline is absolutely coming for him the same way it came for all of them. He has also made it clear he refuses to spend an entire season strapped into a car he already knows cannot win just to collect 1 more year of paychecks and 1 more farewell tour. Which brings us to the beautifully awkward part of this whole story, because Hamlin is not fading. He is doing the exact opposite. He opened his 2026 win account at Las Vegas Motor Speedway back in March, and that victory pushed him past Kevin Harvick into sole possession of 10th place on the all-time Cup Series win list. In May, he took the All-Star race at Dover Motor Speedway. Then in June, he ripped off 3 consecutive victories at Nashville, Michigan, and Pocono, a streak he had never managed once in 20 full seasons of Cup Series competition. He now sits on 64 career wins, alongside 3 Daytona 500 trophies. Rolling into the closing stretch of the regular season, he leads the championship standings by more than 100 points. He has piled up 14 top 5 finishes, and he is positioned to enter NASCAR's revived chase format as the #1 seed with the biggest bonus point cushion in the field. Gibbs Racing is absolutely not helping this man pack his bags. Gibbs himself, the only Cup Series car owner Hamlin has ever driven for, told reporters he has a 5-year deal sitting ready to go and that he was dead serious about it. Team president Dave Alpern went even further on satellite radio, saying flatly that he will believe this retirement when he sees it, and that Hamlin may have to fight the organization to get out the door. Hamlin's answer to all of that pressure has been the same line delivered with a grin. Check with me in 6 months. He has committed to giving Gibbs 1 more genuine conversation over the offseason, and he has admitted that if the contract were expiring today, walking away would be brutally difficult. He even laid out a condition in public. If he wins 3 times inside the first 4 months of 2027, That decision gets a whole lot harder. Meanwhile, the succession plan is already rolling down pit road. Hamlin publicly pointed at Brent Crews, the 18-year-old rookie, and said Crews will more than likely be ready by the end of next year. His exact reasoning was that he does not want to leave the team in flux, which tells you how seriously this man takes the handoff of the number 11 car. And Hamlin is not disappearing into a quiet retirement back home in Virginia either. He already owns 40% of 23XI Racing, the Cup Series organization he launched in 2020, alongside Michael Jordan and Curtis Polk. And in December of 2025, after 23XI and Front Row Motorsports dragged NASCAR through 9 days of federal antitrust trial in Charlotte, the two sides settled, and every chartered Cup Series team walked out of that courthouse holding permanent evergreen charters. Building a competitive race team was only half of what he accomplished. So, is there anything left that genuinely changes his mind? There is one scenario, and it is parked directly in front of him right now. Denny Hamlin has never won a NASCAR Cup Series championship. He finished runner-up to Jimmy Johnson back in 2010, and he finished runner-up again in 2025 in absolutely gut-wrenching fashion. He is the winningest active driver without a title. If he closes out 2026 or 2027 holding that trophy, the entire calculation shifts. He has also stated that his career-ending objective is to win his final start in every series he competes in. He has no interest in fading out or riding around in 25th place, while the cameras look elsewhere. He wants to drive into victory lane, climb out of that Toyota, and walk away while the grandstands are still on their feet. 2 more seasons. That is the entire window. Denny Hamlin gets 2026 and 2027, and if he holds the line on his own timeline, the greatest driver never to win a championship steps out of the car and becomes a full-time team owner with permanent charters, a stable of young talent, and absolutely nothing left to prove behind the wheel. Unless, of course, Joe Gibbs gets him on the phone in 6 months. Drop your take in the comments, hit subscribe, and stay locked in,